Hey, Tall Tales! This is Gemtail here, and I am going to talk to you guys about a story. Now, one of my most viewed videos, even though it doesn't have a lot of views itself, it's about me misspelling my name, so I figured since you guys seem like it when I tell a story, I am going to talk about my wisdom tooth story. Now, when I lost my wisdom teeth, I was so afraid because people would talk about their horror stories, and I'd see videos online where people are just having trouble eating, they're crying their eyes out. In truth, some part of me was kind of looking forward to see the comedy that would come with it, but at the same time, another part of me was a little scared because I really didn't want to be suddenly moody. Well, I go to get my wisdom teeth removed, and we go in, and it's this really lavish waiting room, and it's really fancy. You look around, there's fancy leather couches and stuff. I mean, this waiting room was obviously there so people could sit and wait for quite a while. Well, I go in the back, and of course my anxiety is up. I'm like, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, I have to do this. So anyway, they take me to the back, and of course, I'm just so scared, and the thing with my veins is that every time someone pokes them with a needle, they like to hide, or they collapse, or they do something. My veins are not easy to work with. In fact, I lost my fear of needles pretty quick when they had to draw my blood, and it took them like almost 16 times to prod me during that time, but it's a different story for surgery because there are only certain spots they can hit you on, and then if they can't get a vein, they'll ask you to come in later. So some part of me was thinking, okay, miss, and then another part of me was like, please don't miss, I don't want to do this again. So they attempted to give me laughing gas, but I don't like that gas. I mean, the thing is, I hate the thought of having something that alters my mind so much that it makes me all weird. So, I don't like the thought of getting high off of anything. I mean, that was, in fact, one of the things I was afraid of was the anesthetic that they were going to use on me. So anyway, they finally found a vein right in this hand. Right around here. That was the only vein they could actually get. And my dad had to come in and hold my hand eventually and also because the nurses couldn't find a proper vein. So eventually they got my dad in there, and of course my dad's sitting on the chair holding my hand. And eventually the anesthetic took hold, and I decided to experiment and try fighting it. Lights were out pretty quick. I felt weird, though. My head just felt all woo, and not a good It was like, oh. I did not like it one bit. So, when I wake up, well, first of all, before they put me out, they actually put a blanket on me to warm me up. I don't know if that was to try and dilate my veins a bit more, by keeping me warm, or because it was actually cold in that room. It was really cold. So when I finally wake up, I was getting woke up by one of the nurses, and I kind of wanted to punch her. Now, I don't mistreat nurses or anything, it's just that I felt so tired, and then I was just comfy and cozy. It's kind of like those days when your mom would wake you up for school and you're just like, 5 more minutes. That was exactly what I felt at the time, but then I remembered, oh, wait, I just got out of surgery, so I finally grudgingly get up and follow the nurse out to this little recovery area, and I felt so tired, and she had me hold ice packs to my cheeks while I recovered a bit more. and she went to go get my dad, and I'm just trying not to fall asleep again with these two ice packs against my cheeks. Finally, my dad came and escorted me out the back door into the truck, where I was kind of half asleep in the back, but as he kept driving, I woke up enough and I felt hungry. I mean, I was really hungry, and he asked me if I wanted anything to eat. I was like, I'd like a Whopper and a shake. So he dropped me off at my grandma's to recover. I was in the reclining chair resting, and finally he comes back with the Whopper and the shake, and I was not tired anymore. I felt a little dreary because, well, the anesthetic was still taking hold of me, but I wasn't tired so much as I was hungry. So he finally comes back and gives me the Whopper. I can't open my mouth very wide. I mean, some people talk about how their whole mouths are numb and stuff. My mouth, I had all feeling in my mouth. It's just that I could not open my mouth any more than an inch. So here I am trying to open my mouth on a Whopper that is that big, and my mouth can only open up like this. That was the furthest I could open my mouth on. So eventually, it takes me a whole hour to eat that damn thing. And I saved my milkshake for last, mainly because it kind of felt a little too thick for me, and also I wanted to save my dessert for the last, but I did not want to put it in the freezer to freeze it solid either. So I finally finished my Whopper, and then I wash it down with this very liquidy slurry that used to be a shake, but I stirred it around a bit, and all it was just a very loose shake. And finally, so I pretty much fell back asleep with a full stomach, nice and content. I mean, people talk about how all these horror stories about their wisdom teeth and about how they get all moody and they cry. And I'm kind of here to tell you that it's not always like that. In fact, I didn't even feel like I needed the hydrocodone that I was given, and they were light. They were very low doses. I mean, they were only like, I don't know, just very low doses of hydrocodone, so I didn't even feel like I needed those, and I was also kind of afraid of taking hydrocodone because my dad has it for his chronic pain, and he takes it, and he says it can drive you a bit loopy sometimes, so I did not like the thought of my head being under the influence of a drug. I mean, I have a phobia of that. I do not like the idea of being under the influence of a drug, not even alcohol. Of course, for my 21st birthday, I did promise my brother I'd try and have a good time, which includes getting hammered. And, well, that's all I got to say about that. Well, I have more time on the clock. But yeah, it was an easy recovery for me from the surgery and stuff, and my wisdom teeth came out completely whole. In fact, they were pretty easy for the dentist to remove. They didn't have to break them or anything. They just needed to cut slits over where they were growing in and pull them out. In fact, my wisdom teeth were almost half grown in, too. I remember I used to kind of play with them with my tongue, and now they're no longer there. So it was kind of weird not having them anymore. I could have possibly have grown them in, possibly, but no. So they pulled them. Oh, I have a funny story about those teeth, too. My mom took them to school to show one of her kids that she works with, because she helps with special ed kids, and she's just one of the teacher's aides that helps. And so she's at the high school helping this Down syndrome boy that she works with. And so she shows him my teeth, and he grabs the bag from her and just thought it was the most awesome thing in the world. And so he basically carried it around the whole day, like, look at these teeth! They're Jerica's teeth! So yeah, he was just parading around with my teeth like they were a trophy. Uh, um, so, well, that's all I have for you guys on this episode. Thank you for watching Tall Tales. This is Gemtail, as I am, as you were. Over and out. Peace!